Hi, Kate Lumpkin here, founder of Soul Bloom Ayurveda, and today we're going to be talking about what is Ayurveda? What does that actually mean? You may have heard people say the term Ayurveda means the science of life or the sister science of yoga, or maybe when you were taking a yoga class, you heard someone say the term Ayurveda. Well, that doesn't really explain it very well for me when someone says the science of life. Like, what does that actually mean? And Ayurveda is essentially a ideology or a science of how to live your daily life and optimizing your lifestyle so you can be as healthy as possible, healthy and balanced. You will always hear the term balance in Ayurveda. So, when we kind of think about our approach to Western science, so allopathic medicine, um, Western science or Western medicine is really good at treating acute illness or disease once it's actually already manifested in our body. But Ayurveda is a whole science around how do we live our lifestyle on a daily basis so we don't get a disease, so we don't get cancer, so we don't have all of these symptoms and problems. That is the theory around Ayurveda is how can we live every single day in the healthiest way possible in order to prevent these types of illnesses. And so, Ayurveda does not separate our parts. If you approach a Western doctor, they're going to look really at just like the physical body, or they're going to look at a specific part of the physical body. And in Ayurveda, it does not separate our parts. It does not say that your physical body is separate from your mental and emotional and your spiritual body. If it says if you are stressed, if you are in a bad relationship, if you're stressed at work, then your physical body is also going to be stressed and you're going to probably have some symptoms coming from that. So it is looking at the total view of the person. It truly is a holistic science that looks at the total person and does not separate the parts. So we're looking at the physical, the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual body. So it's looking at like this big picture of the person. It is a total platform, it's a total ideology of how to look at each individual person. And it is also, not just focused on nutrition or diet or, physical movement. It is focused on, the health of the relationships. It is focused on the types of herbs that you take and the energetics and the qualities that you are bringing into your life and how you are actually digesting and assimilating not everything that just comes in through your mouth, but that's coming in through all of the five senses. And so Ayurveda looks at each person as a very unique individual. For me, I have a sister and we're extremely alike. And people will say, y'all are the same person. You may have that, same thing too, a best friend or a family member, and you're very alike, because like attracts like. But at the fundamental constitution of these two people who made a very surface level seem very similar, we're very, very different, and our needs in order to be healthy are extremely different. So Ayurveda looks at every single person very individually. And I'll give you an example. Let's say that you went to a doctor because you had a cough. And the cough is going to, and I did too. We both walked into the doctor's office. We both had a cough. The doctor is going to give both of us the same antibiotics or cough syrup and the same protocol and then send us on our way, right? And that protocol may work. But Ayurveda is going to look at each of those individuals and say, what's the quality of that cough? Is it dry or is it more like phlegmy and mucousy? Where in the lungs is it coming from? What were these people doing a couple weeks before the cough came on that could have maybe led to the cough? Let's look at the individual, their constitution and their needs, and let's determine, what do they need in terms of remedy that could actually heal this person. So it's looking at everybody very individually and saying that no two people are the same. No matter how much at a high level overview on a surface level of how they look the same, no two people are the same. So modern medicine is really great at quick fixes, at helping with acute illness and, disease and cancer. Like 100%, you should go see a Western doctor. However, Ayurveda is really good at treating the root cause symptom. So Ayurveda is a slower healing modality, but it is something that is going to help change your patterns and your lifestyle and actually heal the root cause instead of just, helping fix the problem with a band-aid. And so I like to think of, modern medicine is treating acute disease, and Ayurveda is helping the person find health. And I want to be really clear. You can, choose to see a Western doctor and believe in Western medicine like I do. And you can also choose to believe in Ayurveda and incorporate those practices on a daily basis. You can do both. You can be on prescription medication for anxiety or your thyroid or, IBS or whatever. And you can also incorporate Ayurveda practices maybe for the point of getting off of those prescription medicines, or just maybe so you can balance out your lifestyle. It does not have to be this or that. So that's what you're going to be finding with me is I do not condemn Western medicine at all. If I had cancer, you best believe I'm going to go see a Western doctor and, get chemotherapy and do whatever I need to do. But I'm also going to incorporate my Ayurvedic practices because I have that empowerment now of understanding, the qualities of things that I can also help heal myself here on the side. So you can have both. Ayurveda is not about, demeaning a different type of medicine. So Ayurveda comes from India. It was, long story short, but it was said to have been downloaded through meditation by these very wise men. And it is a science that has been around for over 5,000 years. Like 5,000 years, y'all. That's a very long time. And it's also said that other ancient and holistic sciences like traditional Chinese medicine or Greek medicine, that they come from Ayurveda. And it's also been called like your grandmother's medicine, for example. But it's really understanding the patterns and the energetics of, not only the person, but the surroundings of the person. And if you were able to watch my free series on the five elements, this is why it's so important because you have to understand the energetics of the elements of nature in order to understand them within your body. So if you haven't been able to watch that yet, please do sign up for the newsletter and you'll get a free invite to that free five series. Go back and rewatch it if you haven't. But that's really, really important. So really, Ayurveda is on the rise. You can still go to India today, and there are very traditional Ayurvedic doctors. There are healers. It is still very much around in India, but it's also, there you can find doctors of Ayurveda in United States, in Europe. You can find Panchakarma centers, which are kind of like detox and Ayurvedic detox here in the United States. So I only think that, Ayurveda is making a huge rise and a huge comeback, and we're going to be hearing more about Ayurveda and more talk around Ayurveda and more people being interested in it over the next, decade, because I think that we see that our Western system is flawed. Of not looking at us like a whole person, of not, incorporating and understanding that the physical has to also lead to the mental, emotional, and spiritual, and that we have to look at the whole entire person in order to understand what's actually going on with them. And so these are the teachings that I'm going to share with you. From me and how I approach Ayurveda, it does have to meet my modern lifestyle. Some of the ancient teachings, they just don't feel really great for me, they just don't feel good in my body. So how I have tried to, approach Ayurveda and also how I teach it is where ancient meets modern. How can we take these ancient teachings but modernize them for our lifestyle? And how can we, not feel like we are bending and breaking ourselves to be a good Ayurvedic practitioner every single day when really we just want to, have modern indulgences and try to be as healthy as possible. So that's what you're going to find with me is it's got to be tangible, it's got to make sense, and it's got to work. So that's just a little bit of, Ayurveda. Think about it as a science to live the most healthy lifestyle for you as an individual as possible. And in the next video, and here shortly, we're going to get into Ayurvedic doshic theory and also understanding a little bit more about what I mean when I say original nature or your individual constitution. So hopefully you learned something a little bit today. And again, we're building the house. This is the foundation, and we're going to continue to build on top of it until, you understand Ayurveda so well and you're practicing it every single day without even knowing that you're practicing it. So, thank you for sticking with me, and we'll talk soon.